Hey again, lovely people of Midtown 12 South. Coming at you again in a little pastoral check-in video. Uh, Let it be stated without a doubt that still very much miss seeing you all, miss corporately worshiping together, and long for that to be our normal again soon. But I want to talk to you just for a few minutes about this idea of waiting in the unknown. And certainly we need a longer than a 5 minute video to talk about the biblical idea of waiting. It's all over Scripture. It's one of the key marks of even belonging to the Lord in the Bible. It's how God's people are taught to be in the world. We're waiting for the Lord to act. We wait on Him in prayer. We wait on Him in hope. We wait on Him in sorrow. We are waiting for His promises to come true. And so the whole world right now is in this giant season of waiting. We're waiting for things to change. We're waiting for answers to all the questions. We're waiting for the crisis to be over. We're waiting for curves to peak and to trend downward. We're waiting for things to come back to normal. And whether you like it or not, you're waiting. And there's this strange but very human thing that happens when we wait. We begin to ask questions. We begin to make assumptions. We begin to fantasize about what the waiting will be like, or what the timeline will be, or what our futures hold while we wait. And so I'm reminded biblically of God's people in the Old Testament. The Israelites found themselves in Babylonian captivity. They were taken captive, taken back to the capital city of Babylon, and they were slaves there in Babylon, and they're away from their homeland of Israel, and away from their normal. They're away from their temple. They're away from all of the things that define them, really, ethnically and culturally and religiously, and they are waiting for the Lord to act. They're waiting. They're crying out to the Lord. They're waiting for Him to do something about their current state. And while they're waiting in this foreign land, Jeremiah, one of the prophets in the Old Testament, writes this letter to the exiles, as it's called. He writes a letter to them to tell them, hey, I know you're waiting, and I know you don't know how long this is going to last exactly, and I know you don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and I know you don't know what you're supposed to be doing right now. So let me tell you, exiles in a strange land who are waiting for God to act on His promises, let me tell you what you are to be doing while you wait. And the parallel that we can gain from this, as we talk about this for just a second, would be what is it that the Lord would be asking us to do while we wait? As we're waiting in this giant season of the unknown, what is it possibly that the Lord, without necessarily giving us answers to the questions we want Him to answer, what might He be asking us to do while we wait? Here's what Jeremiah says in his letters to the exiles in Jeremiah 29. He says, I want you, while you wait in Babylon, I want you to build houses there. I want you to get married there. I want you to have children there. I want you to plant gardens there. I want you to see that city come to life. I want you to love the city. I want you to pray for the city. I want you to seek the welfare of the city that you're waiting in. And so the application for us would be what the Israelites were called to do while they waited in the unknown would be the same for us. Do what's in front of you. You don't have all the answers that you maybe want. What's in front of you is to love your family. What's in front of you is to love your neighbor. What's in front of you is to pray for your city. What's in front of you is to serve your city. What's in front of you is to serve the welfare of your city. And I don't mean to over spiritualize this at all. It could literally be the job of you, church, to love the local businesses in your neighborhood, to seek the welfare of your neighbors and try to bring them back to life while we wait in the unknown. It could look like literally asking an elderly neighbor, "Hey, can I run to the grocery store for you so that you're not put at risk?" It could look like praying with your spouse or your friends or your small group. It could look like praying together for the good of this city. And all those things, we are simply asked, Midtown, to be a church, to be a people while we wait that loves this city. So I hope that that's an encouragement. I don't have any answers, and the Bible doesn't want us to believe that if we just prayed more, had more faith, we would have more answers. What the Bible calls us to do is to be simple ambassadors of reconciliation and redemption while we wait in this city in this strange time. So I hope that encourages you. One bit of information, this Sunday is Easter Sunday. It is a very sad thing to not be worshiping together on that Sunday, but I want to let you know that we're encouraging everybody to join with their small groups this Sunday at 10 a.m. to participate in the Easter liturgy that will be coming to the small group leaders and the podcast time for worship and readings and listening to the podcast. Do that together this Sunday at 10 o'clock. If you're not in a small group, join one and join a small group to worship together this Easter. I love you, and I hope to see you again very soon.